Welcome to solverfy.
For this problem, we are told that 58% of runaways are female. A study is done with a sample size of 90 and finds that 63 of those 90 runaways were female. Now our test is going to be done with an alpha level of 0.05. So the first thing we do is we identify our claim. That is our null hypothesis. And the claim is that 58% of runaways are female. So our null hypothesis is that the true population proportion shown by P is 0.58. Now our alternative, what we're trying to test, our hypothesis, is that the actual percentage, true proportion, is higher, it's greater than 0.58. So next we need to find our critical value. Since we have an alpha level of 0.05, and since we're looking at greater than, we have a left-tailed test, meaning if we look at the graph, we have our alpha level here, we're looking at above that. So that means our critical value must be 1.6. And that's positive since it's left. Next we need to compute our test values. So first we need to find our p hat. And p hat is the sample proportion, and that's equal to x over n, or our result over our sample size. So we have x is 63 and n is 90. So our sample proportion is 0.7. So now we need to find our z value. Z is equal to our sample proportion minus our claim, or expected proportion, all over the standard deviation, which is given by the square root of p times 1 minus p, which is also known as q, all over n. So if we plug those in, we have that 0.7 minus 0.58 all over square root of 0.58 times 1 minus 0.58 over our n of 90. And we find that our z is equal to 2.31. So now we need to make our decision. Let's do this by first making a graph, a normal curve with a mean of 0 and then a standard deviation of 1. Then we'll draw in our alpha level, which we'll put as green. We know that that is 1.64. We'll say that is about here. Then we'll shade the area above it because that's the critical region that we are looking at. Now let's put in our test value, which I will put as blue, and we have 2.31. I would say that is about here, and then we're looking at that and the possibility of getting a result of that number of 2.31 or higher, so we'll shade in that area. Next, we'll find our p-value. So we want the probability that v is greater than or equal to 2.31. If we put that in our calculator, we get a p-value of 0.028. So we'll write that down. Since our p-value of 0.028 is less than our alpha level of 0.05, and since our test value falls within the critical bounds or region, we reject the null claim. So now we must summarize these results. What does it mean that we rejected the claim? And it means we have enough evidence to conclude that the true population proportion of runaways that are female is greater than 58%. And that is the answer to our problem.